Or Gen Z, you don't get it. Okay. So we are starting a brand new series today called Help. Somebody just say help. Help. All right, say it like you're actually in need of help. Help. Okay. Some of y'all are experienced in needing help. Okay. Help, help. And here's the idea of this series, okay? Help, I don't know how to Christian. And what I'm finding more and more is that there are people that give their life to the Lord. There are people even that have given their life to the Lord years and years ago, maybe in VBS or Sunday school or back in the day, and then they come back to church. And a lot of us, if we're just really honest, really honest with ourselves and honest with everyone else around us, a lot of us, we just don't know what to do next. And so this series is going to be about, what do you do? What do you do when you become a Christian or you've been a Christian and you're trying to figure out what to do next? Or better question is, how do I grow? Who wants to grow in their faith today? I'm gonna make y'all talk back a lot today because first service, they were like crickets, not talking at all. So I gotta repair my ego, okay? So I need y'all to talk back to me today. Now, here's what I wish there was in life, in Christianity. I wish for Christianity, there was an easy button. Y'all remember the easy buttons back in the day? Yeah. Yep, the easy buttons. I wish there was an easy button. It would make everything easier. I wish when you give your life to the Lord, I wish that you would just download all the information. That you would click a button.
That was easy.
And download everything. That it would be incredible to stream Christ-likeness.
That was easy.
That would be awesome. It'd be awesome if you could DoorDash discipleship.
That was easy. That was easy.
Unfortunately, that's not how it works. Instead, we have to learn to Christian. A better way to say that would be, we have to learn how to follow Jesus. Help. I don't know how to Christian. What we're doing is we're looking at some of the basic things that God uses to grow our faith. And basic can be tricky, right? Because when we hear basic, what we think is easy. And it's not always easy. Following Jesus is simple, but it's not always...
That was easy.
Easy. Let me ask you a question. These are some of my least favorite things to hear from people. Have you ever heard someone come up to you, or someone came to you and they said, well, they said, they feel like, they just, they wanted. They didn't like the way that went. On and on and on and on. As a pastor, I get a lot of conversations that start with, they said, they did. And what I constantly want to scream back as loud as I possibly can is, who are they? Who are they? They said, I don't care what they said. I want to know who they are. Now, I'm sure that you've had times in your life, times in conversations where you've had things like that happen, where someone comes to you and you hear something from the theys. Who are they? Theys in our lives, they can be critical, can't they? They can be challenging. They can also be encouraging though. They can be hateful, they can be offensive, they can be loving. They can be encouraging. They can be just about anything. And what's interesting about the theys in all of our lives is that they have an impact on us. Now, you've probably heard this statement before, more times than you can count, but I'm gonna give it to you one more time. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you've heard that, let me hear from you. Okay, a few people. Here's another one. I like this one better. Show me your friends. Go ahead and help me complete this, and I'll show you your future. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. It's compelling, right? Oh, show me your friends, okay. It's thought-provoking. It's something that we think through and think, oh, you know what, that could be true. The problem is that it's not the whole story. In fact, I would go as far to say is that it's really just not true. It's actually a little more complicated than that. It's a little more complicated than just finding 5 good people to surround yourself with. It's actually more far-reaching than just those closest to you. In fact, research would actually suggest and show to you and show to me that the people you never come in contact with can have some of the biggest and most significant impact in your life. Now, I'm not even talking about the podcasts you listen to. I'm not talking about the books you read. I'm talking about people that you don't know their name, you don't know their story, you never hear their voice, and they can still have an impact on your life. It's not just the 5 people closest to you, it's also the 5 people closest to them. And the 5 people closest to them. And the 5 people closest to them. In fact, I found a study on friendship from these 2 doctors, Dr. Christakis, all right, like say that 5 times real fast, and Dr. Fowler. And they showed the impact of friends of friends of friends. And what I'm going to call this is the circle of influence in your life. We'll get back to that, put a thumb in that, we'll get back to that in just a minute. The circle of influence. Their research found, and they studied happiness, their research found that if you want to be happy, actually let me just illustrate this. Let me show you in real life. Okay, Sarah, come on up here. Shane, Taylor, can I get y'all too? Y'all come on up here real quick. Okay, give it up for my helpers. Let's go. Okay, and Shane and Taylor, y'all are dating, right? How awkward would that be? One time I asked a couple, they came in and I was like, oh, like I was talking, trying to be nice or whatever. I was like, oh, y'all are dating? And they're like, we're twins. And so, never been back. It's over. Okay, so here's what I want to show you, okay? If I want to be happier, your friends impact your happiness, okay? Shane here, if Shane is happy, he's just happy as a lark. Go, can you look happy?
Always
okay.
happy.
Always happy, look at him. He's so happy, look at him, just incredible, because he's dating Taylor. Right. You're welcome. Okay, now, if Shane is happy and we're friends, I am 16% more likely to be happy. Thank you, Shane.
You're welcome.
That's incredible. You're just rubbing off on me. Okay, now I want to show you this though, because if Taylor is happy, okay, and I don't know Taylor at all, if Taylor is happy, then I am still 10% more likely to be happy without a relationship with her. If Sarah, let's imagine I don't know her at all. Okay, look, she's always happy though. It's annoying how happy she always is. Like I just want to be in a bad mood and she doesn't want to do it. I'm like, let me be in a bad mood. And Sarah, if she's happy though, I am still 6% more likely to be happy even if I don't know her. 6%. Let me give you some context there. If I were to give you a $10,000 raise, anybody want a $10,000 raise? Praise the Lord. Okay. Studies would show that you are 2% more likely to be happy over $10,000. Okay? If that's the case, knowing a friend of a friend of a friend who's happy makes you 6% more likely to be happy, which is hard to believe, but Sarah being happy is more impactful in my life than $10,000. I would dare say that the relationships you have in your life are worth more than $10,000. Who you surround yourself is important. Who you are around is important. In fact, this study goes on. They didn't just do happiness, Shane. They did other stuff. So they did obesity. If Shane was obese, I'm 45% more likely to be obese. Thank you, sir. If Taylor was obese, 20%. If Sarah was, 10%. Same thing with smoking. 61%, 29%, 11%. What are we trying to say today? What I'm trying to say is that who you surround yourself is important. Y'all go ahead and grab a seat. Give it up for these guys, killing it, just being happy. Now, real quick, let me get back to this, okay? What am I trying to tell you, okay? I'm trying to tell you that yes, the people you surround yourself with is important, but you are not the average of the 5 people you are surrounded by. It's way bigger than that. It's way bigger than that. You are the average of the 5 people and their 5 people, and their 5 people, and so on and so on. So really, if we really get down to it, it's less about who you are surrounded by and more about being in the right surroundings. Let me say that again. It's less about being surrounded by the right people, and it's more about being in the right surroundings. So those little sayings that we used earlier, more accurately, the saying should go like this: show me your friends and their friends and their friends, and I'll show you your future. Or you could say, show me where you find your friends, then I'll show you your future. So where do you find your friends? The question may be today, because we're at church, where is this going, Austin? Well, I'll tell you exactly where it's going. It's going straight to church. Take me to church. Okay, it's going straight to church. So there's people in here that you don't know. There's people in this church that you don't know, but you are being impacted by every single person here today. And I believe that the church is the best surrounding to find people to be surrounded by. Are we perfect? No. Absolutely not. Some of y'all is real messed up. Are we messed up? Yes. I sound sad about it. Okay. Yeah, we're a little bit messed up. But you know what we know today? What I know, what hopefully you know if you're a believer in Jesus Christ, the reason you're hopefully here today is because you know you need Jesus. I need Jesus. I'm messed up without him. But because of him, because of his grace, I can follow him and I can strive in humility to seek after him. Now, let me fill you in real quick. That's the type of friends you need more of. The humble kind that say, you know what? I am messed up. I don't got it all together, but Jesus. So this series, starting off, week 1, this series, help! I don't know how to Christian. The reason we're doing this is before you do nearly anything else, you need the right theys in your life. Who are they? They said, they did, they wanted, they acted like. Who are they? They're not perfect, but they're striving. They don't have it all figured out, but they're following Jesus. I need the right people in our life. And it is no mistake, by the way, that you are at church today. It is no mistake that you are at church today on Time Change Sunday, spring break, rainy. All the things are against you today, but you're at church. It's no mistake that you are here today because I believe that you can find the right theys right here at church. Let me explain to you and describe to you, or allow Jesus to describe the right theys. The right days. In John chapter 13, this is what Jesus said: a new commandment I give you, love one another. Somebody say one another. As I have loved you, so you also must love one another. Say one another again. One another again. By this, by what? Your love. Everyone will know that you are my disciples if, big if, you love one another. If you love one another. Who are the right theys in life? Who do you want to be surrounded by? I want to show you a couple statements, and I want you to tell me, all right, talk back to me a little bit, which one across our nation, let's say, sounds more accurate for most people. Number one, they must be Christians because they're so loving. Or they must be Christians because they're so judgmental. Which one do Christians have as their reputation? The next one is they must follow Jesus. They encourage one another. Or they must be Christians because they talk bad about each other behind their back. See, Jesus, according to him, the right they should be different. You should be different. I should be different. We should what? Love one another. So today, I have an acrostic. I don't use acrostics a whole lot, so don't get used to this. I have an acrostic for they and how to find the right they. Who are they? Who are they? If you're taking notes, I want you to write this down today. They, T-H-E-Y, they, the right theys, they are tough. They're tough. Tough. You need some tough people in your life. You've heard the saying, when the going gets tough, the tough get going, right? The problem is, with a lot of us and a lot of our relationships is that when the going gets tough, our friends just get gone. You know what you need, what I need, is what we all need is we really need some people in our life that are going to be tough, that are going to be, watch this, unoffendable. Hello. You need some people, I don't know about y'all, but like I unintentionally offend people all the time. Like I got this one friend, he texts me all the time and I never text him back. Just like so offensive. So offensive. He gets offended all the time. But we need some people in our life that are unoffendable. You know what else we need? We need some people in our life that are forgiving. It's tough to be forgiving. Did you know that? Forgiving someone is one of the toughest things you can do. You know what else is also one of the toughest things you can do? Living in unforgiveness. That will eat you up. That you think you're hurting them, that you're not forgiving, but really you're hurting yourself. We need some tough people that will not just stand with us, but they will stand for us. Some people that will pick us up when we're falling short. I know I fall short all the time. I need some men in my life, some brothers to come alongside me to pick me up when I fall down. I need some tough days. Now, you may be asking, how do you get those people? How do you get those days? Well, here's how you get that, is you be that. Tough people assume the best about others. They assume the best. They don't assume the worst. That's one of the problems with our world, by the way, is everybody loves to assume. And I'm not going to tell you what assumption makes out of you and me. You know already. And yet we still keep assuming. If we're going to assume, why don't we just assume the best? Is anybody with me? Assume the best. It kills me today how many people will lose relationships that are some of the strongest relationships in their life, or people will leave a church, or they will leave a company or a business because they assumed something. Because they refuse to forgive someone and move on. And I'm not downplaying the hurt you feel or the hurt that you've experienced, but baby, it is going to keep hurting worse and worse and worse if you don't forgive. The right days are tough. They're unoffendable. They're forgiving. But also, they're not just tough, they're also honest. The right days are honest. They're honest. Last week, I was at the office, Heart and Soul's office, and Nathaniel Shine, he rolled in. Anybody know Nathaniel Shine? Can we give it up for Nathaniel? And Nathaniel has been filling in for Annie, who had a baby, and she birthed a child. Her name is Anderson, but we call her L.A., in case you were wondering. And L.A. is so cute, awesome. She looks like Annie. Thank God she doesn't look like Tristan. It is what it is. Anyway, so Nathaniel's been doing some of Annie's job, and he came in, and Nathaniel was talking, and I looked at him. I said, hold up. I got to stop you. And he looks at me. He's like, okay, what's going on? And I just said, I just want you to know that you have, quite possibly, the largest booger in your nose I have ever seen. Ever. This morning, on the way into church, the guy that I offend a lot, his fly was unzipped. And you know what I said? I said, I'm sorry, man. Your fly is unzipped, and you're welcome. You're welcome. Here's what we need. We need some people in our life that will be some booger spotting friends. Come on, somebody. That'll preach. You need some booger spotting friends. I'm talking about people that, yes, quite literally, you got a big old honking booger in your nose. They'll say, brother, you got a booger in your nose. But also some people that will spot a flaw in your soul and say, hey, you can be better. Because of Jesus, you can be better. Hey, I see the way you're treating your spouse, and I want to let you know God's got more for you than that. You need some honest people in your life. I need some honest people in my life that will let me know the real deal. Nathaniel comes back to the office a few days later. This man, he just living the life. And he was telling me a story that he ate some Nutella before he went to the gym. Apparently, that's what you do to look like Nathaniel. I don't know. That's the key. I mean, he's ripped. And so I'm eating Nutella, left and right now. It's not working. So he comes in and tells us the story that he had gone to the gym. He had just eaten Nutella. He was with a friend working out. They worked out for 90 minutes at 6 p.m. at Club 4, which is the worst time to go to Club 4. If you know, you know. Everybody and their mom is at Club 4 at 6 p.m. He leaves the workout. He gets home. He looks at his wife, Haley, and Haley says, Nathaniel, what is that all over the side of your face? He goes and looks in the mirror and he says, oh, that's the Nutella that I ate an hour and a half ago that my friend allowed me to show to the world and Club 4 and didn't say a thing to me at all. You need some honest people. Nathaniel needs more honest people. We need some honest people in our life. The right days are going to be tough. They're going to be honest. They're going to fight for you. They're not going to let you believe lies about yourself, that you're not good enough, that you're not a child of God. They're going to reinforce that you are a child of God, that you are saved by grace through faith. Come on, somebody, that Jesus is enough. The right days are honest. They're not gossips. They're honest. They're not gossips. And some of our problem is we allow people to come up to us and say things like, hey, Austin, you know what? Between you and me, I just want to tell you about I'm going to tell you something real quick. Outside of the right context, watch out for that. Because if they will talk about them to you, they will talk about you to them. Now, that's not the right they, right? It's not the right person. That's not honest. We want to be people that are honest. And while we're on the gossip thing, let me just quickly define gossip. I think it'll be on the screen as well. Is that gossip is telling anything to anyone who can't do something for that someone. Anything to anyone that can't do something for that someone. If you can't help the person that you're talking about, it's probably best not to talk about them. Boom. Drop the mic. That's it. Now, there are times in life where you are in an organization or you're working or, you bring a situation up to your boss, right? Your boss is taking it, but your boss can fix the situation. You're taking it, let's call it up the chain of command. The more you take it down the chain of command and say, can you believe what Susie did? Can you believe how their marriage is exploding? Oh my gosh, you will never believe what they did to me. That's exactly how you push away the right days. That's not how you get the right days. We gotta be honest. Tough, honest. 3 is encouraging. They are encouraging. Anybody else want to be encouraged? A few people, okay. Maybe I'm the only insecure person in the house that loves encouragement. People will come up and be like, Pastor, I'm sure you hear this all the time. I'm like, nope, never. Give me the encouragement. Give it to me. I need it. We need some encouraging people in our life. We need some encouraging people. If you're not from the South, we got a lot of people that are from California and other places. If you're not from the South, I'm gonna give you a little heads up on some of our language, okay? If somebody ever comes up to you and they say, well, bless your heart. Just bless it. And you might think, if you're a Cali boy, Cali boy Nate, you're just like, well, thank you. I appreciate it. No. I'm telling you, grandma is looking at you and saying, you little idiot. Like, you and I, we need the right they are encouraging. They are encouraging. They will call the champion out of you. They will call you to a higher level. That's what Jesus did with his disciples, isn't it? Jesus was constantly calling things out of them that they didn't think they could be. Hey, Peter, you're the rock. On this rock, I'm gonna build my church. I know you don't think you can do it, Peter, but I'm gonna use you. Hebrews chapter 10, verse 24 actually says it this way, and let us consider how we may spur one another on toward love and good deeds. There's that little phrase again, one another. Not giving up meeting together, as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another. There it is again, one another. You know what? You cannot one another without one another. That's why we need one another. Encouragement. And really what might be the opposite of encouragement is like, I don't know about you, but I've had some rumors started about me. Has anybody else ever had a rumor started about you that just wasn't true? A few people, okay. And if you own a business or you run an organization or anything, you will almost always, you'll get those Google reviews. Stay off Google reviews. Because they'll say one thing, take it out of context. And Sarah, my wife, beautiful wife Sarah, she had a rumor started about her in high school, and this person started a rumor that Sarah was pregnant, and which was not true as far as I'm aware, and it was not true. So Sarah, put her hair in a ponytail, punched her in the face or something like that. I don't know the details, but watch this. That same girl that started the rumor, by happenstance, ended up going to the same college Sarah and I went to, hundreds of miles away. And that same person not only went to the same college, but she ended up rooming with my ex-girlfriend. You can only imagine the stories that were told. You can only imagine the rumors that were spread. And I wonder, I think a lot of times we take things negatively. I wonder if we could put a positive spin on rumors. I wonder if we could weaponize rumors. What if you and I, as Christians, as followers of Jesus, where we're loving one another, we're trying to be the right days, what if we started talking about people behind their back? Jesus did it. Matthew chapter 11, Jesus talks to John's disciples. They come to him and asking Jesus some questions, and Jesus sends them away. And after they leave, this is what Jesus says. Truly I tell you, among those born of women, there has not risen anyone greater than John the Baptist. Jesus didn't say that to John. He didn't even say that to John's people. Jesus said it behind John's back. What if we started a bunch of good rumors? What if we just started weaponizing secrets? Good secrets. We started weaponizing the good stuff. We saw somebody do something and we just started telling people the good that they did. Oh, Shelby? Yeah, Shelby Henson? Oh, yeah. Listen to this. Last week, we had somebody come to church, first-time family, big old group of people. And Shelby took all of them with her, made them feel extra special, extra at home, walked them to the black tent, walked them to the places they needed to get to, and made their experience that much better. Oh, you're talking about Amber Burchett? Yeah. She's putting up all the words and stuff on the screen right now, but something more important that she does is she writes letters to people who are going through the toughest times in our church so that she can send those letters in the mail. People still use the mail, by the way, which is crazy. Send the letter in the mail to say, we are praying for you, we care about you. Oh, Jesse Smith? Yeah. Jesse, he moved from across the country to Heart and Soul Church, or to Knoxville. They moved to Knoxville because of Heart and Soul, which is a crazy story in and of itself. But Jesse drove over an hour at night on a motorcycle when it was 35 degrees like a crazy person just to see a friend play football. Listen to me. What if we just started spreading good rumors? Yeah. Tell them to their face. Encourage them. That's incredible. But what if we started encouraging them behind their back as well? Can you imagine if somebody came up to you and say, oh, you won't believe what I heard about you, Penny? And it was the most positive thing you've ever heard? What if we just started doing that? The right days are tough, honest, encouraging. Fourth, they are yielded. This is the most important one. They are yielded. They are yes men. They are yes women. In fact, you need some yes men in your life. You need some yes men. I need some yes men. And here's what I mean. You need some yes men that their yes is on the table for God before it is for you. They are yes men to the Lord. They are yielded to God. They are more interested in saying yes to God than they are to saying yes to you or appeasing you. They are yielded to what He has to say. They are yielded to what His word says, not what the culture says, to what the Word of God says. They are yielded to the Lord being the priority. They are yielded to being in God's house, to serving through God's house. That they are leading others closer to God. You need some people in your life that are yielded to God. They're tough, they're honest, they're encouraging, they're yielded. We all need them in our life, and we should be them in someone else's life. So then the question becomes, okay, if that's who they are, how do you find them? Where do you find those types of people? Well, I think if we just take a look at the life of Jesus, we can see where Jesus found those people and apply that to our life. Earlier I talked about the circle of influence. I believe in Jesus' life, there were these concentric circles that built out, further and further. And Jesus would have in these concentric circles different forms of relationships. For example, Jesus had the three, Peter, James, and John. Those were the people closest to him. Then Jesus had the 12, his 12 disciples. If you can name all 12 disciples, extra credit. Then Jesus had the 72. These 72, they would go and impact the world with Jesus. Then Jesus had the crowds on the outside of that. These were the people that would come and listen to his teaching. They would come and listen to the words that he would preach, like through Matthew 5 through 7, the Sermon on the Mount. These people all gathered in hundreds, if not thousands, to hear Jesus. So if that's how Jesus found the right they, then how can we apply that to our life? I'll tell you how. Jesus had the hundreds, and you have the church. Jesus had the hundreds, you have the church. These were the crowds that would come to hear Jesus teach. His crowds at times would get into the thousands. These people were coming to hear what Jesus had to say. The circle of influence in your life needs to be the church. It needs to be people in the church. It's Sunday morning, heart and soul. Let's go, somebody. It's not everything, but it is the biggest circle in the concentric circles. And Sundays, in my opinion, they're special because we gather together to encourage one another, but also to be encouraged by one another. It is encouraging to me to stand during worship and to know that there are other people, real life people, normal people that also have struggles. Hello. That also have pains, that also are going through hurt in their life. They're going through brokenness in their life. And you know what they're doing? They're still standing and worshiping the Lord Jesus Christ. That's encouraging to me to know I'm not alone. That's why you need the crowd. Jesus then had the 72. Here's what I believe about them. The 72, these cats, they were devoted. They were all in. They were all in. They were going door to door, house to house. They were serving their world. And this is what this is for you. For me, it's serving in the church. Serving through the church in outreach. Serving through the church here on a Sunday. And I just want to let you know, people ask me all the time like about getting involved and that kind of thing. You do not get the full heart and soul experience. I would dare say you don't get the full Christian experience until you start to serve somebody not named you. You have to get outside of just the crowd and get active in your faith. Hello. Here at Heart and Soul, we call the people that serve here heaven bringers. Why? Because every single Sunday, they're bringing heaven. Every Sunday. And you look around, maybe you're not quite as involved, but this is your church, and you look around and you think, okay, man, they got it going on. You know, maybe there's some stuff that they could change or tweak or, you know, get a new pastor, but they got it going on. And they, you know, they don't really need my help. Like, they got their flags out, they got all this signage. This is a high school, so they're doing all this and setting it up and tearing down. And, you know, they got it going on. They don't need any help. But the truth of the matter today, March the 12th, is you are needed. You are needed. You are needed. See, I really want you to be needed. I want you to be known here at Heart and Soul. And it's hard to be known when you sit in a row. That's just the truth. I'm not coming at anybody. That's just the truth. It's hard to be known when you come into church and you sit in a row. What you need is a circle of people to come around you. You find that through groups, but you can also find that on a team here at Heart and Soul and serving. Let me just be real practical for a minute. On Easter, we're expecting over 1,000 people on campus in the 2 services. And that means today, March the 12th, is the best time ever in the history of Heart and Soul Church. Since September 20th of 2020, this is the best time ever and the most needed time ever for you to go all in like the 72 and join a team. You are needed, and not just needed, you can make a difference. You might think, okay, well, how is holding a door making a difference? Like, anybody can hold a door. Well, let me explain it a little bit differently. It is making a difference because the person you're opening the door for, the person you're parking, the person whose child you're watching in the kids area, that person is giving Jesus one more chance. And they're deciding what they're going to do with Jesus in the first 11 minutes of being on this site. The sermon starts far beyond and before I ever pick up the mic. Thank God. The sermon starts in the parking lot. The sermon starts at setup. The sermon starts in the foyer. The sermon starts, praise God, with all of the saints that have special mansions in heaven that are serving our kids right now. And all the parents said amen. Because I'm telling you, if Kobe, William, Coleman wasn't here, we wouldn't have church. He would be running around with no clothes on. And when I say no clothes, I mean no clothes. Jesus had the 72, but Jesus also had the 12. This was Jesus' small group. You need a group of people that can come around you and pray for you, that can be with you, can be for you. It makes me laugh every time when people say that they don't need the church or they don't need a group, that they have their own personal relationship with Jesus and with God. And I look around and I think, okay, the perfect Son of God had a small group, had a community, and you don't need it? You're better than Jesus? Good luck. I mean, honestly, good luck. I don't know what else to tell you. You need people. I need people. It's just a fact of the matter. And the way we do small groups here, we call them parties because we just have to call them something different. And our parties reopen and restart mid-April. If you're not involved in a party, definitely sign up for one. But man, you know what? You can find that community of the 12 on a team as well. They're serving. They're serving. Like if you really want to get the full experience, and we want you to get that, man, you gotta be at church consistently. You miss out on so much when you miss a week. Get to church, get under the sound of the gospel, get under the sound of other people singing alongside you. You're not alone. Get on a team, start serving somebody not named you. Get in a group where somebody can challenge and encourage you. Bring a friend with you. Why do I say those 4 things specifically? Because when you are consistently at church, you know what it says? It's telling God, God, you are first in my week. I know I could do other things on a Sunday, God. I know I could go to brunch on a Sunday. God, I know I could go to the new food truck park. God, I know I could go do this, that, or the other. But being at church is an action that you step in and say, you know what? God is going to be first in my life. It's an action you choose. When you serve, you are saying that I am not the most important person in my life. And if somebody comes to know Jesus, it's well worth all of the junk we had to go through to get this stuff set up today. You join a group to remind yourself, to remind your heart, to remind your soul that I need people. I can't do this on my own. I can't do life on, I can't be a dad on my own. I need somebody to help me. I can't be a husband on my own. I need somebody to help me. And when you bring other people with you that don't already go to church, when you bring them with you, you get to see the power of God change and transform their life. You get to see God move in somebody's life. I don't know, I may not know you personally, but what I do know about you is you need the right they. Tough people, honest people, encouraging people, yielded people. And the way in which you find it is through the church. It's through serving. It's through joining a small group. The last one of Jesus's was he had the three closest to him. It's like his accountability, his mentorship. He was mentoring them. Jesus took it and he gave it away. Who are you investing in? Who are you discipling? If you want the right they in your life, you got to be the right they. And it starts with just getting connected. If friends of friends of friends are impacting you, don't you want to make sure you're in the right surroundings so that you're more connected to the right days? With every head bowed and every eye closed.